What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Screen Fiends. Today, we're going to be chatting a little bit about one of my most anticipated films of 2023, and that's Wes Anderson's upcoming Asteroid City, which actually comes out in June and apparently will premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. We also have the first poster out for Asteroid City. Focus Features posted this today on their Twitter account saying, "Our story begins in a fictional American desert town circa 1955. Asteroid City trailer tomorrow." And here's the very first poster. I happen to love this poster. This hits all the right kind of Wes Anderson notes with the colors and the scenery. This looks awesome. I'm really, really excited for this movie, like I said. And it has a absolute hell of a cast, including Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jason Schwartzman, Jeffrey Wright, Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrien Brody, Liev Schreiber, Hope Davis, Stephen Park, Rupert Friend, Maya Hawke, Steve Carell, Matt Dillon, Hong Chau, Willem Dafoe, Margot Robbie, Jeff Goldblum, and others. That's absolute insanity, if you ask me. That has to be Wes Anderson's most impressive cast so far, I think. And as this article goes on to say, the film is set in a fictional American desert town circa 1955. The film synopsis reads, "The itinerary of a junior stargazer slash space cadet convention organized to bring together students and parents from across the country for fellowship and scholarly competition is spectacularly disrupted by world-changing events." I'm excited that it's going to be set in a desert town. That sounds very appealing to me just from an aesthetic perspective. And I'm a huge fan of Wes Anderson. Obviously, at this point, most people are. He's kind of gone mainstream. His films have, bleeded into pop culture so much, or bled into pop culture so much at this point. It's not really like a niche community anymore of us Wes Anderson fans. But nevertheless, I'm continue to be a big fan of Wes's work. I think he's one of the most genuinely creative and unique and idiosyncratic auteurs we have working in Hollywood right now. And even though he has gone a little bit mainstream recently, I still think it's cool to see such a original director, such a fresh and, unique voice in Hollywood that's still able to amass such a fan base and so much admiration from the general public. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about this one. I'm interested, Alex, in what you think about this poster and whether or not you're excited to check out the trailer coming out tomorrow for Asteroid City.
I am excited. Wes Anderson is kind of hit and miss for me. I love some of his, like I really love Rushmore, for instance. But there are others, like for instance, I liked Moonrise Kingdom. I didn't love it, and I loved my favorite one of his is actually Grand Budapest Hotel. I actually really enjoy Grand Budapest Hotel. There's just something about it kind of like threw me for a loop because I wasn't necessarily following this project like completely. I was kind of thrown for a loop the fact that this movie is actually not going to be set in like the future. Because I always thought this movie was going to be set in the future or set in like sci-fi. And there was part of me that was actually kind of excited. I was like, what does a Wes Anderson sci-fi movie look like? So I'm a little disappointed because I'm like, what does like Wes Anderson sci-fi movie look like? I also think that as a replacement for Steve Carell, for one, I don't think that replacement had just to do with COVID. I also heard that like Bill Murray is also like has sexually harassed people, so like he ruined that Aziz Ansari project.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, which is the worst thing on the planet because I feel so bad for Aziz Ansari in that case. I love Steve Carell. I think Steve Carell is actually a really, really talented actor. He's really terrific actually in dramatic roles. And obviously in his comedy, he's really good in the Anchorman movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and if anyone doesn't know what you're talking about, Alex, what you're referencing is the fact that Steve Carell was brought in to replace Bill Murray, who was originally slated to be in this film, but then had to drop out due to COVID. And I think you might be onto something, Alex. He's had some behind the scenes controversies, which have led to him being cut from other movies, including that Aziz Ansari film, the directorial debut from Aziz Ansari, which unfortunately got basically entirely scrapped thanks to the behind the scenes drama with Bill Murray. So yeah, they basically just replaced him with Steve Carell.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because Bill Murray is kind of like a staple of Wes Anderson. If you watch a Wes Anderson movie, you just kind of expect Bill Murray. He's just, and also his sensibility, his sense of humor is very much of that. I think one of his probably his best performances. I love his performance in Rushmore.
Me
I think his
too.
performance in
So
Rushmore is
good.
really, really good. I didn't see the French Dispatch, but I hear really good things about the French Dispatch. Did you see the French Dispatch?
I did see the Fringe Dispatch, and I really enjoyed it from like an aesthetic perspective. It's perfect as far as the mise en scène goes, like all of the Wes Anderson's movies. I mean, you just can't get better as far as like costume design and production design. So I loved that about it. As far as the narrative of that film goes, I do think it's one of his weaker movies. It's not, I don't think it is like as good as a Moonrise Kingdom or a Grand Budapest Hotel or a Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I personally love. But yeah, still enjoyed it. I'm, planning on rewatching it soon, actually, but just not one of his best in my opinion.